Hey, are you listening? RedMaster merch, now official. Down in the description below, go ahead and follow that link if you want to buy yourself some RedMaster merch. Hey guys, what is going on, Mr. And welcome back to an episode of Cards and Castles, where today we are doing a little bit of a different style of commentary from the normal. I was invited a while ago to join Slasher, also known as Jimba, to join a live commentary for a series between Unhelpful Yoda and Jump, and of course I, wanted to jump in, see how that went, and, what you're about to see is the, I guess, finished result of that. But before we hop into it, I just want to take a moment to mention that if you do like this, or if you do enjoy this video or want to see more done like it, it'll probably be a little more polished up, hopefully, for the next one. If we do decide to do it again, I know probably Slasher was going to want to do it again, and, if there are other players looking to, I guess, jump in a match and kind of make it happen, then we can, of course, put, everything together once again. So, and on top of that, the video that I believe we're about to see is shot from Jimba's perspective, so he had most of the recording. So if things seem a little off, it's not my usual recording. Again, I'll have it hopefully polished up if we do another one, and I will do it a recording on my end for the second one. But I just want to kind of get those two things out there before we get started with the video. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the series between Yoda and Jump and see how things went down.
Alrighty, ladies
Wait.
and gentlemen, we have Jump 77 versus Unhelpful Yoda.
Oh, holy. All right. We're getting into this now.
Did the stream freeze for you also?
I think so.
Oh,
Nope,
there
there
we
we go.
go.
We're back. We're back. Slash, why am I seeing your screen on this too?
Oh, I just had that going. You can just double click on the his screen, it'll bring up only him.
Yeah. All right, that's what we're gonna do. Here we are. All right, so now we are officially inside here. We're gonna start off with a simple lumberjack from Yoda. Nothing too surprising there. Doesn't go aggro with it. I think Jump's going to. It's either fear or pass, and he goes for the pass, which I
I
think is the better play.
I think that top drawing there, I mean against the lumberjack, that's not really necessary. He might use it here against the dwarven miner, but Seller's fight fish
Ooh.
will probably come out instead.
Yeah, that'll be a good takeout of the lumberjack and a good block for that incoming miner. And we'll see if Yoda takes the trade there. It is going to cost him next turn, but we'll see what he's got for turn 3. Maybe a blacksmith, perhaps? He does take the trade, so he's not afraid to lose that gold. Does bring up a banshee, though. And I think Yoda is running a Molten Winds, right? Or so he told us earlier.
Um, if I've seen this deck on TV before, and I think that's what it is. That's the end game of it. But there's also a bit of last will shenanigans for both of them.
Yeah, and you can kind of reinforce that with the idea of the Salharada coming out as well. Obviously, to get away from that Dark Bender. And I think Jump, I think he does go for the Keeper here, right? I would say it's the better play that he's got. I mean, he's not going to fear anything back, and he's not going to bring out the Elvish Thief to make trades. He wants some units in his hand. Because right now he is looking a little low on units. I mean, he's got the Blacksmith and Thief, but nothing really else after
I
that.
don't like that play of pushing the Darkbender up because Yoda runs 3 pillars in here, frost pillars, and if he played one in between those two, he could set up a pretty decent chain there that would hit castle and every single unit on the board.
Yeah. But we'll see if that comes out. It's not a matter of, when it's going to happen. It's a matter of if, as of right now. Lich does come out, though, so freezes off both of them. Very nice to, trap him in a position where he's not going to save that Dark Bender, I don't think. Not unless he does some kind of Bolt or Fear, maybe. We're going to see probably
Yeah, I
Bolt
think
on the
bolt
Lich.
on the Lich into a fear on whatever is not frozen is the best play.
Mm-hmm.
And then with an Elvish Thief right behind that Doorkeeper.
Okay. I would go for the same play myself. I think that's, or he's actually debating where to put it. I mean, he could summon it up there, sure, but where he puts it is, I guess, a different story, right? He's contemplating behind Darkbender.
Darkbender might be the right play because then he
Or
can
just up
hit
there.
Banshee and it'll take a whole lot of pressure off of his.
Darkbender, yeah.
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 I will say I really like that he played Darkbender at the top instead of bottom because it avoids any late game problems with summoning because, as you know, all units are summoned to the bottom.
hmm We do see a massive setup here from Yoda. I would not surprise me in the slightest if there's a reanimate hiding in that hand.
I think the real threat here is that reanimate, as you said, plus a Drake Dance. Because all those
Ooh.
units suiciding into the Doorkeeper would really, really not be good.
hmm Well, Jump does go for the preemptive strike here, takes out that Banshee, and does give a battle cry to Yoda. Excuse me, dinner's coming back up.
I
Oh
hope
boy.
not.
All right, we're gonna see a general though. Kind of an interesting play from Jump, considering that he's got no last. Well, I mean, he could bounce off the Salahar Rider last will. General is, of course, any last will, right? Not just his
Yep.
own. We'll see Keeper contemplate where to move here. He's gonna maybe go in to start generating units for him, but also maybe holding back in case Yoda does have that reanimate.
I think that I think the scary thing for Jump right now is reanimate, and if
hmm
Yoda brings out an Andrew first.
Ooh,
I think
yeah,
the player who gets Andrew out first will win this game.
and we do see actually Jump take the preemptive cautions if Andrew is hiding in that hand. He does go for the Rider instead of the Shaman there. Battle Cry from Yoda will push back Keeper. I don't think that's what he wanted. Does bring out the Temple though, so now these little guys becoming a bit more devastating. And there's the Andrew.
Do you think that if Mordok comes out, do you think that Jump will use Mercenary's Execution on Mordok, or he will save it for an Andrew?
Well, I don't believe Jump is really aware of what deck Yoda has. To Jump, this may just seem like a generic, not generic, but more of a reanimate focus. He might not be expecting the Andrew. So yeah, I could see him going for the execution on the Mordok just as a, like, oh, that might be one of his stronger threats. Let me go ahead and execute it right there.
I think I really love to see the older style with Mercenary's Execution. I mean, I don't think that many of the newer green decks run that simply because of how much it costs.
hmm Yeah, it definitely scares people in terms of like, how come I have to wait for 7 gold to remove 1 unit? I mean, you do have murder, but that comes with a health restriction. We do see Jump go for the Andrew play, so we'll see if that sways the game more in Jump's favor. He did get the Andrew out first, after all, and he does smartly separate his units to avoid any sort of chain. Now the Temple is currently on the board. Uh, Meanwhile, what has Yoda got up his sleeve? What do you think Yoda's gonna bring out now? What's Yoda's plan moving forward?
The scariest thing for me, if I were in Jump's position, not knowing the deck, would be Rat King. Rat King could really. Oh,
Oh, and there's the pillar
that's
combination you were
deadly.
talking about earlier.
Yep, that's deadly.
He's not only frozen a good chunk of Jump's board and set him up for a nasty chain, but he's also repositioned his units, so Jump is definitely going to be hurting here. And there's
Oh,
no way I can see it out for him. I mean, he can get rid of some of the pillars here, like Freezing Pillar, but the chain's already set up.
something I think that's also. I mean, a little bit of metagaming here because Yoda has told us what he has in his deck. Is
hmm
that if he then follows this up with the Winds of the North, I'm not Winds of the North, a Winds of the
Nord.
Njord, he
Yeah.
will pull back both the castle, more importantly, castle, but also the rat hovel
Yeah.
straight into that pillar.
hmm And then it'll do some big detonation. I think it's important, though, for Jump at this point to really try to get a last will activation somewhere so that Andrew can at least try and tank the explosion. Even though it's not going to really survive in the long term, he does need that last will.
I think he knows he needs to take out that pillar, but I don't think he
He's
can this
not
turn.
ready for the cost of it yet, I think. Yeah, and it doesn't matter because both of them are going to pop anyway. I forgot Preller actually had a burst effect. I don't really leave it around for too long, or get units trapped in there to really feel the effect there. 5 is a hefty bit of damage. And in comes Generos, so that means General is completely nullified.
I think Mercenary's Execution is going to go on that Yenoroth.
You think so?
I wouldn't put it on there just because I think that Yenoroth's not threatening anything,
Hmm.
but
He's gonna go ahead and do
he's
it
going to
anyway.
do
It
it
looks
anyway.
like. Yeah. We'll see if Rat goes ahead and takes a chip out of the pillar. I mean, he could, and it sets up for Darkbender to kill it in the next turn as long as it doesn't get frozen. Yep, that is the play that he's making there. How do you think those other units are going to affect the game? The ones that Yoda's got right now, the 2 guards and the rider.
I think that's going to go into Reanimate. Worst
That's
case
going to be
scenario, that
reanimate.
goes into a triple Reanimate with all 5, well, 4 units being summoned on all of them.
Yikes. That would be less than ideal for Jump to see right at this point, too, because Jump is running out of steam. And there's 2 Andrews on Yoda's side. That means he's not only going to get the buff on 2 Andrews, but 2 buffs as well.
I think Arcanon General Banshee, possibly. That or he simply kills the pillar. The issue is with Arcanon General that it will buff those Andrews, and that's 2 Andrews back there. So every time that unit fights anything, you're in essence giving your opponent a 4/4 buff.
Hmm. Although I do think to avoid that right now, he does need to eliminate the last will threats, namely Ryder and the Pillar. He can get Andrew out, not Andrew, the General out onto the board, but have him avoid contact until he clears the last will threats, which is going to be hard to do since Ryder is a little deep in the enemy lines.
He really wants to push that Darkbender forward.
Yeah. I mean, he could scope it, but that makes him a prime target for any sort of burn that Yoda's got packing.
I think it's already a target, so I
That's
I
true.
would do it. I personally don't run scope though,
Hmm.
but
We're
at the
probably going
same
to see him
time, I am a
actually.
big noob, so
We do actually see Jump go ahead and use a Banshee as a guard here. He kind of ran out of time there with that play.
I think that was a blunder, and I think he forgot about the temple.
I think so too. He was panicking because of the timer.
And the hovel's going to be cleaned up this turn, and who knows what else other scary things you could play. He could even not play anything this turn, and I don't think he would he might not even lose any positionally anything or even cards wise anything if he doesn't play anything.
Yeah. You think it still provides the same threat either way. And there's Yoda's General, which is going to get a little bit of value out of the rider. I think Jump can scope to avoid that, but it's not going to be worth it in the long run.
So I can tell you right now, Yoda's scared of OTK because he's kept that Darkbender back. He's kept everything
Hmm.
away from his castle. And you have to remember, with red, 2 demonic rages, 5 attack, that's all you need.
Yeah, that is game. Especially since, I mean, Jump actually has a, component of that would-be OTK already, the Dwarven Scope.
Absolutely.
Just move it up 1, Dwarven Scope, Demonic Rage, and, could be big damage. So I could see the fear of OTK here. Although, I mean, if Yoda gets enough power on that those Andrews, it's going to be a whole different scenario.
What do you think Jump could have which would put him back in this game?
Oof, that is a tough question. I mean, there isn't too much. I would like to see maybe another execution for him. Maybe clean up at least one of the Andrews. He's going to have to brute force at least one of these Andrews. But it would be nice if he can maybe remove one without having to really lose a lot in terms of units or board presence.
There's the Mystic Journey that I was talking about earlier in the game.
And that's going to be big, not only due to, them hitting Andrew, not Andrew, General, and buffing the Andrews, but of course the chain that's been present this whole game.
That kills his entire board.
It does, yeah. Oh, Rip Rat. I mean, Yoda did have to take a very minuscule price for it, but I think this game is wrapped up. I don't see Jump coming back out of any of that. He could Sunburst. Are we gonna see Sunburst?
The only the only color which could come back from this
Oh, he's
would
gonna
be blue.
pass it off.
He just doesn't have the Yenroth potential.
Yeah, he doesn't. He could have Dragon's Fired, but even that's not enough to clear off the main the main offenders of General and Andrew. And yeah, that's gonna be the game ender right there.
That was a beautiful match number 1 from both Jump and Yoda.
And we'll see what Jump brings into game number 2. Because now he has the option to, as you mentioned, create a counter deck.
Yep, and I'm going to mute them, and we go to our players.
Alright.
Hey guys. On that first match, Yoda.
Yeah, nice. Good game. Well done.
We got some scary Andrews on both sides, or at least what would have been a scary Andrew.
Oh, I was so scared of that Andrew. I was like, all I have is last will. If I build this Andrew up, if I don't kill his Andrew now, I'm off.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting your deck to be last will as well, or else I would have played differently. That's the problem with blue, is that it can be so many different things.
Alright, so now for game 2 / what do both of us do here?
So for game 2, what's going to happen is Jump is going to get to build a deck to counter Yoda's. And if he wins this one, then Yoda will build a deck also. So right now, both of them, just based off what they've seen in the other's hand and what they think's in the other's hands, they just build a deck that would go against that one. So I mean, it's a bit more to the theory crafting side than it is to the actual gameplay, but
we're both crafting a new deck or playing a new deck,
or just picking one that you think would play very well against the deck you just played against.
Okay.
Because now Yoda will use the same deck against you, Jump, and you get to pick a different deck or get to create a deck even to counter it.
I mean, I've got 2 in mind. But I don't think either of them are entertaining from a watching perspective.
Don't worry, that's what we're here for.
Okay, you'll provide the commentary to make it entertaining.
I add life to the content.
I bring the party.
I believe in manifest destiny.
Alright.
Don't worry, I'll bleep that one. I'll bleep that one.
You gotta have the cowboy stance go with manifest destiny.
I'd have to get up from my computer right now to do that.
Oh. So we'll go back into, I guess, the commentary whenever the game starts.
Absolutely.
Alright, sounds good.
So I'm going to mute you two, and best of luck to you.
Alright.
Sorry, Yoda, I got to root against you, so we get to see you game 3.
Not mad at it.
Alright, best of luck, boys. See you on the other side.
What do you think Jump will bring?
Against EA, or what he thinks is a blue-red last will?
Yeah.
Probably something to at least maybe defend himself against the Andrews, because that's what really scared him, I think, in the last one. So maybe... Oh, we're going to see... I was going to say something with ninjas, maybe to kind of reach the Andrews if Yoda, you know, likes to hide the units in the back, maybe, for reach.
I personally would have gone with red-purple OTK, but, I mean, this is pretty much as close as you can get to a one-turn kill deck that is meta.
And that's going to scare Yoda, I think, going into this next match, just a little bit. You know, the potential of, you know, does he have the tools to wipe me out in one turn? And we're going to see if that goes through. We're going to see a Lumberjack exchange to start things off here. I think that's, you know, just pretty standard opening play.
I really dislike that forward push from Jump. Oh, yeah, that would have been a very bad move if he had played Temple there.
Yeah, and he's
I,
gonna do the same actually forward position here again with the lumberjack. So I mean, if you're not liking this one either, what are your thoughts on that?
my thoughts are we've already seen that he has guards in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Jump already knows that. We just see a pair of guards come out, cleans both lumberjacks, no trades. He uses that later for reanimate.
Mm-hmm. So actually, Jump is a little bit aggressive here. Goes for the lumberjack on castle. He's gonna meet a lich for his troubles. Not gonna kill it though. He's gonna save that probably for last will food maybe.
I think next turn he plays metal and brings out
Eh,
Andrew.
yeah, I think that's the play too. He can even smack lumberjack with the Andrew. Of course, it's frozen maybe. Or maybe he goes for a rider kill or rider trade, excuse me, to further bolster Andrew. We will see a Shadow Drake from Jump. All right, interesting choice there. I mean, it will be a little scarier, but it's gonna meet the Lich. Yeah, and there's that Metal Andrew that you predicted. Goes for the Lumberjack hit. On Andrew itself, though, not even gonna trade with the Rider.
I think this is actually a good position for Jump. Between the Lightning Strike, if he can get Green Drake out and he can survive to turn 8, he wins.
Mm-hmm.
Between the multi-strike and the lightning blade, I think he can get the positioning.
I think that's going to be his goal here moving forward, especially since Yoda is, at least with this deck, a more seclusive player. He doesn't really advance too much with his cards at this in this deck. I think that's going to give Jump a little more freedom to control the board a little more than Yoda can. Of course, Yoda's going to pack the burns in for sure, but I think that Jump's going to have a little bit more freedom on the board.
Yeah. This is what I was talking to Jump earlier today about with card position versus playing with on the board positionally. Yoda has amazing card position and got amazing value for everything he's played so far, but Jump has that just great board position where anything that Yoda has could still be just erased from the board.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you think that he goes for a lightning blade here on the Shadow Drake and opens up to a green Drake hit on the castle, or do you think he saves that?
I wouldn't do that. I would hit castle and then multi-strike on that green Drake. There is a
Okay.
chance that, I mean, adding up the damage right now,
A lightning blade wouldn't mean that Yoda gets to reanimate any of those units on the board.
I wouldn't be too scared of a reanimate right now. I mean, with that multi-strike, you'd be pulling your green Drake back. You can only get one hit. That'd be a 5-1
And he has a
unit.
second one in hand as well.
It's that 8 damage. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
16 damage, and then you just use lightning blade later and you kill him for free.
Exactly.
I mean, the worst case scenario is that he hits Rider and it kills off his Shadow Drake.
Right.
But green, oh, I think he's blundering here.
You
I
think
think he's
he's
still going to
panicking
win
again?
this because of his Aeroth and his just amazing positioning. But
Mm-hmm.
there could still be freeze in Yoda's hand. If Yoda manages to freeze the board for the rest of the game, it's very
Well, he
very
goes for a
scary.
Dragon's Fire, actually, so not exactly getting the results I think that he wanted out of that Dragon's Fire. But, uh, yeah, playing
Oh,
to avoid.
and Yoda just I think Yoda just noticed. Like, I mean, it is much scarier having that second one, but I think that previous turn, I think Jump just missed his win completely because he has a what 1 in 4 chance of still maintaining that Shadow Drake after trading with the Rider.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not 1 in 4. Excuse me, 3 in 4.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. I mean, his head is probably definitely in the mentality at this point of an OTK using Arrow up multi-strike, if, anything. Slipping the Green Drake behind the line and just hitting for 20. That's the only win I see out for Jump here. I think that last turn was definitely crucial.
In my opinion, I think Drake's is the strongest deck if they get the cards they need, simply because Drakes don't have to do anything but stall the board until turn 8 to win.
And there's a Nord play, which is not what Jump wanted to see. Now his units are, right exposed for any of Yoda's moves, or any of Yoda's units, really. And there is the removal of that big Drake. I mean, can Multi-Strike Lightning Blade end this?
It can.
It does, right? Yeah.
I should.
He's... no, he can't reach, can he?
He
Well, I
can't
mean, he could reach with
yet.
one. But it would definitely put a big exclamation point on where this match is going.
I think if he did...
Multi-Strike Lightning Blade could do him wonders
if he
here.
had one more gold, he'd have won the game by now.
Yes. I think he does go for the Multi-Strike Lightning Blade. And use the Ice Drake to trade with the Andrew. Yep. He's off by a little bit, but that doesn't
He shouldn't go
matter.
behind the castle.
Oh, and he just did.
So the reasoning for not going behind the castle is that he still has an additional movement, an additional evasion on that Drake, which he could have pulled back in front of his castle. Here, it's probably going to get traded out or frozen or something bad. I do believe this is the game for Jump, as I do not see any other option to Shadow Drake Aeroth.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much the win here. And we are going to go see a game 3 then. Yeah, and he's even flashing the 2 cards that he's mentioning. Yeah, I've got this one locked away. Do you see a pillar onto Yoda's side here? That's actually going to be the game. Doesn't even bother removing the Drake. We're going to still see the Shadow Drake, though. Shadow
the DM
Aeroth.
plays.
I mean, it's
he's
got
to show it. He has to show it.
He has to show that even though a green Drake could have been removed, there was a secondary win for him. So, but ultimately, very happy that we saw a win for Jump in Game 3, especially since that crucial turn for him that we kind of thought, earlier in the matchup was the point where he lost it, did not actually turn out to be, a losing situation for Jump.
Absolutely. Let's go back to the players.
Of course.
Good game.
Yeah, good game. It's a lot easier when you know what your opponent's going to run.
It is.
Jump, you did it. You even flashed that Aeroth Shadow Drake at us like, yeah, I've got this one.
Yeah, when he's got an empty board and can't block the castle, it's a guaranteed win.
I was so afraid that that Yoda was going to play something like Rat King Pillar there at the end, and then come back. Because I was talking to Red, and I was almost psyching myself out because there was a win I thought you missed, but you got it in the end.
What did you think I should have done?
You had a...
It was when you had 2 Shadow Drakes. No, you had the Shadow and the Green Drake. The Shadow.
Oh, yeah.
Before you played that Green Drake, I would have multi-striked on the castle after trading with the Shadow Drake and the Salahar Rider blocking, because it would have brought him down to 2 health, and then you would have had a Lightning Blade in hand to finish off the game.
Right. Yep. That's true, actually.
But it worked out. I think your play made it slightly safer.
I know his deck is defensive in nature, being a last will deck, so I wanted to just play things safe. I positioned so that I couldn't be frozen entirely or chain lightninged up. And then once I had enough mana to cast and do one big combo, and then you can just bring it in.
Alright, so now it comes down to the 3rd game, I imagine?
Yes, it does. Yoda, what we... I mean, Yoda, you had it stacked against you from the beginning, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I had 3 general in my hand at the end of the game.
Yeah, that's really stacking your deck against you. There's a quote which I put on RedMaster's YouTube video, which is, watching you brick is like watching a fat man drop his ice cream.
I can't remember.
Nobody wants to see it.
very sad when it actually happens. Alright, so I guess we move into game
Dragons
3 of the
are never fun to play against.
That's what I was saying before the match. I'm like, well, I've got 2 decks that I think will counter, but they're not entertaining or really that fun to play.
We're
They're
not
just
going to
good.
talk about any players like the CML or any other members of our great community who play Dragons a lot.
Yeah,
Vesea.
yeah. I mean, right now it's my only ranked deck, but I've only got 5 games on it, and it's just because I can play it without a brain.
Shout out to Visea, actually. He was my first friend of the game.
Just all of a sudden, shout out to Vesea, dude, for just existing with dragons.
Yeah.
What a legend. He was like the first 3,000 plus player who actually was willing to friend me.
Nice. I
Okay.
the one thing I want to know about him is how many different dragon decks in the same blue-purple combo does he have?
4.
4?
I've asked him, yeah, 4.
Because I knew it was at least 3.
These dragons. Oh, jeez.
And then Dragons got buffed.
I think I should mute you guys so that I don't hear the commentary about what Yoda's going to pick.
Well, Red and I will go back to our casting then.
Good luck on the last one. Is it the last one?
It
Yep,
is.
you are down to the final matchup.
Alright.
You both have 1 match apiece.
And I have to play dragons again, right?
No, you
Yes.
have to play you have to play what you played at the very beginning.
Oh,
Your signature deck.
Oh, and he's going to counter my signature deck?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm playing Last Will Pirates.
Absolutely.
Alright.
And Yoda, we're clear on what this next game is going to be, right?
So I have to not counter the Drake deck.
Counter the first deck you beat. So I mean, you can just play the exact same deck again if you want, but
Okay. All right. Sure.
so do you think we're going to see dragons again?
it's unlikely, I think, knowing you know, we just heard from Yoda and his opinions regarding dragons, so I don't think he's gonna bring out the dragons here. I mean, he looks like he's bringing out a druid ninja, actually. So we'll see where that one goes. I'm kind of curious here. We're going to start off the game, though, with everyone's favorite lumberjack. A little more passive this time, though. You must be happy about that.
I think this is going to be a return deck. A companion's return deck. And it's just going to start hitting really hard around turn 6.
All right, well, we've got a Call Beast coming out now with the metal. You don't see that too often.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that card. It's just too much random chance in it.
And with the pool being, 2/3 wolf, 2/3 bear hog, and a 3/6 bear, you're very likely to pull one of the 2/3s more often than the bear.
You're better summoning the random warrior in Warlocks, and that's saying something.
Call the
Warlocks, Vikings. Excuse me.
Yeah, call the war. No, it's alright. It's alright. So we are going to see a bunch of fear stuff, though, in this opening exchange here. Jump using some fears to kind of give him some time here, and actually brings out a blacksmith to reinforce that lumberjack. Manicore, I think, is going to be a slight problem for him here, though. I don't think he's got a clear way to out that as of now.
I'll be honest, I have no idea what Yoda's running right now, because everything he's running so far has been standard. At least in my mind.
And there's a trend, another kind of go-to druid card. We are to see Keeper, I guess, right? Maybe? Are we? I mean, maybe Darkbender would be better here, but I mean, maybe Keeper to generate some units for himself.
And if he does, if it's a combo deck, I could definitely see that Hog going with an Ayatsu and killing half the board there.
Oh, you're right, and that actually it does line up perfectly for Bearhog to take away that Keeper without giving Jump any value. And Blacksmith, of course, smartly dodging that injured Trent here. I'm surprised Lumberjack didn't take the little chunk to maybe survive, or at least to pierce the mana core, but we do see a Koru come out, and that in itself is scary as hell.
The Dragon's Fire.
It will reveal it, yeah, but you have to remember, if it's not in a position where both of those units, Keeper and Lumberjack, can reach, then he's in trouble.
I think it's... Oh.
No.
It's not.
Not.
Neither
no.
of them.
Neither can reach, and that means Mana Core is going to be able to at least protect Koru for one of the hits. If he doesn't have first strike before that, though, which is highly doubtful in my mind.
After not seeing any for, what, 6 draws now, he's got to have something in there.
Yeah, even from the opening hand, even probably had something. So Koru does take a little bit more of an aggressive stance toward the castle, maybe looking to chip a little bit. Doesn't have the scope for it, so it's not as big as a threat.
The thing that's really scary here is if he plays a Bestial Rage and then starts hitting castle. Because he can hit castle, kill a unit, run away, hit castle, kill a unit, run away.
Mm-hmm.
And from what I know of this, I like to call it the Zek Knight deck. As far as I know, Zek Knight really was the one who first ran it in the last year's big meta shift around Christmas. 2 years ago now.
Yeah, I believe you got it on that. I don't remember myself too well, really, but I know Zek was doing much Koru stuff, especially, with this combination of colors a while back. Yeah, so Jump's going to look like he's taking the defensive approach here. He lines up the Keeper, and the Lumberjack should get aggressive with the Mana Core.
Yeah, there's no real clear answer to this until you remove that Kuro.
And there's the Bestial Rage that we hinted at earlier, so not only will Core get the Rampage, but the additional buff from the Mana Core. And there's a shifting technique. Ooh. Ignition. Not sure what he's going to do.
And he can move basically anywhere on the board at this point, because he has that Bestial Rage movement and the additional Kuro movement.
Mm-hmm. He can hit something else, too, if he wants, but I'm not sure he's going to reveal himself. Especially if he doesn't have a first strike to maybe protect him, or some kind of shielding to protect that Koru.
I think we're going to see a Vanishing Strike on that Beastmaster.
Highly possible, even though I'm not... Yeah, I mean, he could get maybe a little speed buff, hit the castle, and bounce back, although I don't think that's going to be the play here. I think he might want to trade with a unit or something. That's what I could see. But what does Jump do here? That's what I'm wondering.
He doesn't have any way to draw to start searching for another Dragon's Fire. That would be my go-to right now. Dragon's Fire or a Flamestorm.
Some kind of AoE to knock off the Koru. Knock off the element of surprise, essentially. He does have the Lumberjack draw, which he needs to probably activate. But at what cost, really? Do you think he goes, any of the other units in his hand? Wraith, Keeper, General? Do any of those come out now?
I'd put Wraith out. I think Wraith would... even Keeper the door, simply because of how big of a unit it is.
Yeah, to not get it out would essentially, pass the turn, really.
It still gets first struck, though, with that 6-2.
Mm-hmm. And actually, Yoda going ahead, removing the Hobble first, and then going to use his Rampage, I assume, to take out something else. Spiny does hit the Rat, and then revealing a Mana Core, which he will use to take out the Andrew. Okay.
But there's not much movement on that Kuro any longer. That Kuro can
No,
be killed next turn very easily.
can be. Faith going to the core before it moves, it looks like.
And
So,
probably going to the Manticore.
yep. There's the additional 3, so now both of those units are at a, I guess, full health, right?
Absolutely.
Wolf going into a Thief, removing the Mana Core from the picture here. Second Wolf biting off the Lumberjack. Now his Beastmaster, or he doesn't have enough gold to Vanish Strike, so...
Yeah. I think that Yoda's going to play that Kuro somewhere on Jump's spawn area.
We do see Execution. Do you think... I wouldn't say Jump goes for the Execution removal in the Beastmaster. It would clear off every other visible unit, but... We'll see. Oh, he's gonna go for... No?
He checked behind the castle. He knows where that Kuro is.
Mm-hmm.
I would go for the Kuro right now because the issue is knowing if it's a guaranteed kill.
Exactly. We're going to see if Keeper here maybe generates a unit here. It would be nice to pick up a Horseman maybe for him to kind of pop the initiative on that.
Oh, Jump forgot. I think Jump forgot where the Kuro was. He doesn't know it's right there on top of his castle. Right above it.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And it's going to be right above that doorkeeper. No, it's going to be back at the other spot it could be.
Okay. So we'll see if Yoda goes for... Oh, bring out Leanna.
Oh, I think that's the game.
Might be, actually.
Especially with the Forbidden Scroll. That's just going to be turned into a second Leanna next turn.
Yep. I don't think Jump's got to clear out to this. We'll see if Yoda decides maybe to fill his hand with additional undead. I guess not. Fair enough.
I'm honestly surprised Yoda went for this deck due to how luck-based it can be. Where you can
But when it pays off big.
Oh, it does. And it's an amazingly fun deck to watch play.
It's a really interesting one to just see where and what kind of plays and positions Kuro goes into just to, you know, outsmart your opponent. This deck basically, in my opinion, runs a lot on mind games too. Because not knowing where your biggest threat is definitely scary to an opponent.
Absolutely.
So we'll see what Jump decides to do here. I mean, I assume we're going to see a Spirit Link trade with one of the Trents for Keeper, gets him another unit. And there's the Koru.
He can't clean that still.
He can't. I mean, if he throws everything at it, still won't be enough. You gotta throw on the
He's going to do
Mordok.
5, and then he's going to do 4, then he has to throw everything.
He can throw the Blacksmith, yeah, you can do it. He doesn't have enough time. He's not doing anything. Yeah, uh-oh.
I wonder how much of this game Jump lost due to playing himself. Where he just overthought something.
Or just looking at a bunch of scenarios and being like, which one do I go for? Because I definitely have been in a situation where I'm thinking a lot. I don't realize how much time I actually have to make a play. So there goes Koru on Blacksmith. Koru takes out General as well. Yep. The right removal. Not going for Castle yet, but at this point I don't really think Jump has the recovery to continue this game. I think that last turn was his biggest.
I think Yoda knows it's over. I think if he weren't as far ahead, he would have hit Castle there.
Mm-hmm.
Though when I have talked to Yoda in the past, he has told me that he thinks his greatest weakness in this game is that he tries too hard to clear off the board.
To just, to make sure your opponent has nothing on the board when you end game?
Oh, yeah, where he will try to make trades first before prioritizing damage on Castle, simply because he's scared of how many tactics the opponent can come with. I have to say,
that's
go ahead.
That's definitely fair. So there's the blue firebolt on the Spirit Link, even though, again, we're at the point right now where they really shouldn't be doing that much. I mean, a little buff to Corridor, move the Wraith, a couple of spells, and it's game.
I would have put that swiftness on the excuse me.
Oh, there's the
I'm
mugging.
too
so I don't
busy
think it
watching now.
matters. Oh, he doesn't have the gold for it. Yeah, you got. I mean, the Wraith is gonna, not even survive or eliminated completely by the Eater.
If he put speed on that Eater, I think he would have won the game. Right then.
Potentially. There's the execution on the Eater, just so that way Jump doesn't take too much of a loss here. He wants to lose the Koru, not Magic Eater. And I think
He knew
Koru
what he
is
was
gonna
doing.
Connect. Yeah.
No one ever
Leia
wants to lose
finish
the
it
Magic
off.
Eater.
No one wants to lose the Magic Eater, dude. I can wholeheartedly agree with you there. But Yoda does pick up the win here. I guess him being the series winner now, right?
Yeah, he's our champion.
All right. So I guess we're gonna jump back to both of the players.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Well played.
Great play there, Yoda.
Yeah, I figure a little speed myself might do me some good.
Yeah, I was talking to RedMaster and I was asking, do you think we'll see Drakes again? And RedMaster went, no. Absolutely not.
With the way you mentioned Drake's earlier before you started the match, I'm like, it surprised the hell out of me if he was like, yeah, man, I don't want to see Drake's. And then all of a sudden, yep, I'm going to play Drake's. I don't think that's...
No, I definitely wasn't gonna play any tricks. I'm not the best in the archetype.
Alright guys, that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to leave a like if you did enjoy. Be sure to share with your friends, and of course subscribe if you are new or haven't done so already. The best way that you can support the channel is by clicking that subscribe button. And if you do want to see more of this style of video, again, leave it down in the comments section below. Again, I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of us willing to probably get together and make another video like this. So again, just leave your thoughts down in the comment section below, how you feel about this style of video. If you again want to see more of it, all of that good stuff. And yeah, with that being said, that's gonna do it for me for now. So until next time, guys, stay gaming.